Okie dokie, so today we're talking about the cell cycle and kind of the life of a cell and what goes on in there. So there's really two main parts. There's interphase and mitosis. And let's draw that here. So mitosis, and this is the split of the cell. So split cell. And then the rest of it is called interphase. And an interphase is where everything else happens. And so interphase is made up of a couple parts. It's made up of G1 phase, an S phase, and a G2 phase, and then for the kind of advanced, there is a G0 phase. G0. And that kind of goes more in depth. But G1 and G2 are kind of similar. G1 is grow, and then we go into S phase. S phase, it stands for synthesis, and synthesis means to make. And so in synthesis, all that's going to happen is with a replication of DNA. And then in G2, it's more growth and also prepare for cell division. Prepare for cell division. And then the cell will go into mitosis, division. And then the cell will go into mitosis, or it can be called M phase sometimes. And that's just mitosis. And this is where the cell will split into two cells. There's more steps involved in mitosis than that. But what is this G0 phase? And so kind of not to go into too much depth, but basically as the cell lives its life, the cell's going to get and grow to this point into where it'll be fully matured. But at this point, the cell kind of has to make a decision as to where it's going to divide and make a copy of itself and split into two. Or sometimes they'll, kind of like on your skin, if like on me right now, I have some scabs here, and so these cells around it are dividing, but the cells over here aren't dividing as much because there's no place to fill in. And so the cells over here might be in G0, because they're just hanging out waiting to divide, where the cells over here are dividing to replace that skin because I got cut there. And so G0 is just kind of a hangout. Hang out and live. And some cells, like nerve cells or muscle cells, they'll grow and get to that point, and then there's enough muscle cells, and that's as big as they'll stay. And that's it. So that's how nerve cells kind of stay with you your entire life, because they are in G0 phase their whole part of their life. But then other cells, like your skin cells and the lining of your intestinal tract, will go through this quite often. And so that's the cell cycle in a nutshell. Hope that was helpful.